Hi, so I wanted to talk to you about another set of genetic results. And this patient slash client came to me in a different way, and I got to look at her genetics through a whole different lens, retrospectively instead of prospectively. And so, as a reminder for a lot of my clients, they're just trying to figure out, like, maybe how to eat, how to supplement, how to exercise, either to totally optimize their health as a first step to figure out maybe why they're not losing weight, why they don't feel good, or as part of a bigger functional medicine protocol. This person actually had breast cancer diagnosed this spring, and luckily it was early stage. She only had to have surgery. She's a little on the younger side, and she was a little bit shaken up over this and really wanted to figure out the root cause of her cancer and support her health in the best way going forward. And the biggest reason for her to do the genetic testing was because her integrative oncologist wanted to put her on a keto diet, and she didn't want to. And it was really interesting because she reached out to me earlier in the summer. I offered to help her, but she was already seeing an integrative doctor, which was great. And even though I worked in oncology for a long time, that's just not something I do anymore, and didn't want to necessarily take on her whole case. But I would have been happy to help her with the genetics. And as it turns out, her doctor really couldn't help her with that. These reports are 100 pages long. They're a little bit challenging to put together, and then it does take like an hour to go through the information so people can ask questions. You can go through every section of all of the genes. I can see where patterns are emerging and speak to the genetics and speak to other health issues, since I've worked in medicine for almost 20 years now. So I met with her the other day, and she has a really great fat metabolism, so she can metabolize fats really well. What she can't do is metabolize saturated fats, so things like cheese, a lot of fatty meats with skin, dairy, ice cream, like really heavily saturated fats. And her biggest fear about keto, which was a little bit of a misunderstanding, was that you have to eat a ton of meat and cheese and no vegetables. And intuitively, she really eats a lot of vegetables, a little meat. Her biggest struggle is going to be the cheese, but she can definitely process fat. So a short-term therapeutic keto diet is actually great for her. Otherwise, what was really interesting about her testing is a lot of the markers that predispose to how you handle stress and how sensitive someone is to stress. She had a lot of those, and that definitely contributes to a lot of diseases. It's a root cause to a lot of chronic conditions, including cancer. And I'm not saying it's causative, but these are things that you could know well in advance and then account for them. So hopefully you don't develop disease, and you can really control where your genes might have some issues. The other things that she had some issues processing hormones, which probably led to estrogen dominance for a long time, which again is highly associated with breast cancer. And again, not to blame it on one thing. Cancer is multifactorial. There's lots of factors that play into that. But it's something that perhaps could have been checked on a long time ago had we known she had this predisposition. So she's getting her hormones checked now. She's in great care. But it's really interesting information. And also, she is sensitive to a lot of chemicals, has a hard time detoxing, and again, the more toxins we have, the higher chance of getting cancer or other diseases. So it was just really eye-opening and interesting to know what had happened to her, and to then see the genetics she was born with. And now she's totally doing everything she can to support the genes, and she's really in tune with her stress and has, switched careers and is very healthy and taking this very seriously. But this is such powerful information for preventive health. And it's just something like I can't help but wonder, had she known this information in her 30s, how different her outcome would have been. And so I just share this to make you think a little bit about doing this testing, about understanding your unique body and what you could do to support it. Because I talk a lot about things like, figure out how you should eat and exercise more for a healthy weight and good digestion and this and that and just overall wellness. But it's really preventing things long term. She was a super fantastic client, and I was a little apprehensive about delving back into the oncology world, but it actually felt really good. I have a lot of knowledge there, and it was just really, really interesting to bridge a lot of the gaps that she was going through. So, I think we'll work together in different capacities because she also is in wellness. And it was just a great experience on my end. And this is really like fun and rewarding work for me to do. But I share this, and maybe eventually she'll share as well. But such powerful information from so many different angles, which is why I share this so much. So any questions, any interest, comments, always welcome. Have a great day.